Welcome to our weekly discussion of all things current in California politics. I'm Walt Gray, joined again this week by Rich Ehisen, who is the editor-in-chief of Capital Weekly publication. Rich, good to have you. Let's talk about Proposition 36, which the voters overwhelmingly voted for, 68 to 32%, increases penalties for theft and drug crimes. Voters passed it by a high margin. How is the governor doing with paying attention to that?
Well, I mean, I know Republicans feel like he's dragging his feet quite a bit here. I mean, part of the problem, of course, is he doesn't like it. The Democratic supermajority doesn't like it. As many Republicans have said this last week, you not liking it is not an excuse for, not moving forward with implementation. The problem, of course, is whether it's putting people in jail or putting them in rehab, these things cost money. There is infrastructure there that needs to be put in place. The local governments are struggling with that. We're not in great budget times, so I don't know when it's going to get resolved, but I think that is the big holdup right now, is the allocation of funding. Yeah,
he was very clear he wasn't supporting Prop 36, but the voters did what they were going to do. You've mentioned many times how it's difficult to get a sit down or an interview with a governor. He's now very much in the podcast realm. He's inviting both sides. He seems to be enjoying all that. Tell me what you think about that.
Well, it's certainly interesting, especially, if he's going to reach out, as he has said he will, to have a lot of the MAGA higher-ups come on his show. We'll see if they do. First of all, he can say lots of things. Whether they do or not is yet to be seen. But he's wanting, he says, to reframe some of the conversations, too, that Democrats are having, which is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to reach out to the other side either. I think everyone could agree that we need to take the temperature down on the political disharmony in this country. It is leading places, regardless of what side you're on, that you cannot be happy about. Look, I'm not going to wish him ill will. I hope it's successful if it accomplishes only that.
Okay. Electric vehicles, the state obviously wants to be emissions-free by 2035. Electric vehicle prices are way down, so much so that I actually bought one. So what is the status of electric vehicles in our state going forward?
Well, to be determined. I mean, one of the many executive orders Donald Trump issued deals with that. They want to stop subsidizing chargers, and there's a lot of bad information out there too about how much the government spent on a limited number of chargers, which is incorrect. You really need to pay attention to what real numbers are. That said, I think it's not likely that we're going to hit our climate reduction goals or our emissions reduction goals by 2035, as we were in 2030. There's staggered years. So it would be a real bummer to see them go away, but we definitely have issues in this state that EVs are helping, but even they are not going to solve for every mandate that we are facing as a culture here.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to have an EV, this is the state to have one in. If you're in South Dakota or someplace like that, good luck finding a charger anywhere, right?
Absolutely.
That's part of the deal.
Right.
Okay, Rich Ehisen, thank you so much. Good to have you here on this weekend. If you'd like to reach out to Rich, you can do so. Rich.Eisen at capitalweekly.net.